My name is Adnan. I am an assistant professor of political science. I teach PSA are optional here. Okay, already familiar faces. Happy to see. Okay, so you must already have attended session by Rafi sir on the importance of answer writing, how to write an answer. So can you skip that part, or is it required? Directives of examine. There are some directives or question tags. Critically evaluate, examine, okay, or discuss. I hope you understand the significance of that. And again, I always put some points in my class as aspirants of competitive exams. You all, including us, once upon a time, will be subjected to conflicting points by different faculty members sometimes. So you should use your common sense to understand that this is just like the blind man and the elephant, I can say, where everybody is trying to know what actually is that creature in the room. So I would not ever say that what I am saying is always correct. Follow the strategy, what I am saying, follow the kind of structure or answer writing skills, what I am saying. I would not say that, because having been in this field for the past 11 to 12 years, I've seen so many aspirants with different answer writing skills clear the exam with their own styles. For example, I teach PSAR. Some people say that you have to always quote so many scholars and different theories and all that, and then only you can get good marks. As a question nahi hai. There are some people who wrote at least only 1-2 scholars and they still got 280 to 290 marks in the optional. I hope you get my point. Okay, so there are no defined parameters. This is my take. I mean, I don't know what others are saying, but this is my take. So let me be very straightforward in my subject, polity here. So first things first, of course. Having said this, there are some common things which are discussed by almost every person, like the importance of reading the question multiple number of times to understand the central theme of the question. There is something called as central theme of the question through which the entire answer hinges upon. Second thing, you understand the key demands of the question. Key demands means here what this question is trying to, what this particular sentence is trying to ask me, like to which direction I have to take it for. Then third thing what matters here is what kind of key words or phrases which will you use to emphasize on those particular aspects. Fourth thing, am I able to add certain value addition points, or am I able to add certain factoids, some reports, some schemes, or anything, any international committee reports or not, to substantiate or to accentuate my point. That is also something which is common. When it comes to introduction and conclusion, you can always take the help of the question itself to immediately jump into answer writing. For example, starting problem is there for all of us. We all face that. As a writer also we face this. So what happens is, when you're facing starting problem, the question itself will give you the framework of how to start. Let's see the first question here. Examine, which means you need to go somewhat in detail about this. The composition of the Indian Constituent Assembly is the first part. Critically evaluate the criticisms faced by the Constituent Assembly, which means this 2-sentence question is divided into 2 central demands. One demand is that you need to first write about the detailed composition of the Constituent Assembly by starting the answer by defining what is this Constituent Assembly. Then once you define in as less as possibly 2 or 3 lines, again the line things also will differ, because some students in one line will write hardly 4 words, some will write 5 words. As you must have seen dozens and scores of answer copies of various rankers. If not, you can go to some websites and click, you will find huge scores of all top rankers from 1 to last 780 or 800 rankers, pura copies you can see. You won't find similarities because the way everybody writes answers are different. That means if I say if you write 3 or 4 lines, I am assuming standard answer writing where in one line you are writing at least 6 words. My only point is, your introduction should be very simple. It should be connected to the central theme. You may start by defining this, Or you may start in some questions, a question came in governance on poverty, hunger, you can give UNICEF report, you can start the answer, or you can start with a quote of any particular person. For example, Indian Constitution is borrowed Constitution. I gave, of course, a different type of answer here. You can start your answer by saying, we are proud to have ransacked the constitutions of different parts of the world, B.R. Ambedkar. Understanding or not? Then you can start your answer with that. Every style is accepted here, guys. Fine. So now let's go to the first question. Again, if I write every single thing on board, it will take 8 o'clock. Something it will happen, because recently I completed my polity governance for APPSC, guys. As with every faculty, we struggle to complete within the stipulated hours. Time is very important. So let's sometime, because I already gave the model answer. So don't worry about the content part. Okay, now I will explain. I will focus more on explanation of how to write the answer. Composition of the Constituent Assembly means, I would first start with what is Constituent Assembly. What is Constituent Assembly? Constituent Assembly is a body of elected representatives who have drafted the Indian Constitution. As simple as this line. It was formed in 1946. Okay, that means I am just giving the basic idea for the evaluator. Because we know some people who evaluate the UPSC answers, I am hoping the same will be followed for the TSPSC also. Similar framework as basic introduction. Keywords underlining is possible for TSPSC, I believe, not for APPSC. As of now, they have not given. In the absence of guidelines, we are assuming. If you are able to highlight the words, guys, what we do here is, for example, if I write body of elected representatives. So what I can do in my answer, what in UPSC we used to do is, sentence will start like this. Constituent Assembly, okay, is A. Which means I am telling the evaluator, please focus here. Look at this point. I am telling the central point here. Don't waste your time so much here. Here you look at. Here is the key word and the phrase what I have given. This word itself defines what is Constituent Assembly. Then the supporting statement which was formed, or it was formed to draft the Indian Constitution. It was formed in the 1946. That's it. Then I may also emphasize this on the box here, or I may underline here when drafting the Constitution of India. That's it. Which means if I see from the far, I am getting in the introduction the exact words which are pushing the right meaning of the Constituent Assembly. Then judicious use of side headings and subheadings in some questions. For example, in governance, we will have more subheadings, like e-governance initiatives are there, where I will be writing about different schemes. Ayushman Bharat scheme, again, subheading also can be possible there. So subheadings, okay, side headings and subheadings for that will also make it easily presentable for the evaluator. So when I say composition, this all the matter here, you already know it. Because if you are sitting here, you must be knowing what is the Constituent Assembly composition. Okay, so let's not write on the board. What is the composition? All of you know. Total members, write in point-wise format for easy readability. 389 members are there, and you will write about the entire 296, this and that, 73. Okay, you write 93 in that princely states. Mention those points like total strength you mention, how many were there in the British India you write, and then you write princely states, how many were allocated. Then in the composition you also will write what? You will write about at least, you can use, I always say students to use any kind of schematic diagrams or any kind of flow charts to make it quite crisp, precise. For example, if I want to write, I can use this kind of lines. I can use. That means it's easy for me to focus. And here when I'm writing the points also, I can use 389 here and I can use this kind of points. Where I'm saying that around 296 are there from this and some 93 are there from the princely states. There again I can emphasize on the British, that is what Chief Commissioner provinces and the British 11 provinces are there. That means if you want to balance out your, if you don't have lot of meat in the answer to write, but you know the factual points well, you can use these kind of structure to easily write the answer. One more thing is, of course, if you have any In sectional test, I think you will get evaluations, no? Then if you have any concerns, you can meet us, like double evaluation. Like if time permits, we will also see your copy. You will develop an answer writing style eventually as you keep writing the answers. So it's a gradual progress what you make, which means thanks to Rafi sir for all this lengthy test series. Okay, what happens is by the time you keep writing the answers, you will develop a style of answer writing. In case any one of you here has not written answer writing before, you will eventually develop and adapt one answer writing style, which will fill the paper as it is given in the final exam. As of now, we don't know even that how that is going to be there. But in UPSC, like 150 words ka one first and second page, and then 12.5 marks ka 3-4 pages, defined space is there. There, depending on how your words you are stringing together, you can fill up the space. As an already in one page only you wrote the entire answer. Okay, in TSPSC, APPSC, we don't recommend. In UPSC, for 150 words, we wrote 120, also got good marks because the content has been addressed properly. Same is not the case with APPSC and TGPSC. That is what we have heard so far. Write these kind of points. Then what will you write here? After that composition, you can also write how they were chosen to be elected, because they're asking examine. Examine means don't just give one line and end it. Two parts of the question. Here you give how they were elected among principal communities, Muslims, Sikhs and others were there. No, that you write. Then you can also add they were elected on the basis of proportional representation, single transferable vote by provincial councils or assemblies. That is how they were chosen. And all the factoids, what you can remember, 4 or 5 lines you write. Intro is done. Body, one demand has been addressed. Second part of the body is what? It's asking about criticisms. Now, everybody who has read Lakshmikant will know all those criticisms. But here is a catch, which I put in the question purposefully. Critically evaluate. Which means it is not enough that you write just a criticism faced by the Constituent Assembly. You need to provide some justification if it is available for you. Criticisms. Okay, I will try to extract from you. Tell me criticism, guys. Put the heading as. And one more tip which I tell students is, again, connecting lines. Connecting lines means it should not be abrupt whenever you start an answer and going to different dimension. Like in previous cars, at least manual transmission, you change the gear and you go right. Here also you can shift the gears. Just one small line or one small phrase before you go to the second aspect. However, the Constituent Assembly has met with criticisms in the following grounds. As simple as this line also is good. Okay, that, and then you start with the criticism aspect. What's the criticism here? Heading, very important to put. Criticisms faced by the Constituent Assembly. Okay, first one. What is the criticism? The major criticism is what? It's not a no adequate representation. Lawyer's paradise we will see. That is the only criticism I will accept. Here I will give justification. Representation issues are there, no? So lack of adequate representation. So again here one side heading has come and one subheading has come. And subheading also is not a generic one. Subheading also has a proper phrase here. Representation is an issue. There you will expand on the criticism aspect. What's the criticism of representation? That it had people from what? That is a different thing. Okay, like you can add a separate point also, indirectly related also. Adequate representation can be from the basis of communities. Like Winston Churchill has called that this body is dominated by Hindus only. You can use that criticism there. Winston Churchill has remarked that it is an assembly dominated by Hindus. You can then justify it by saying no. However, it has people from all the different communities. And here, because you want to give some positive impression in the critical evaluation, you counter the criticism by Churchill, okay, by one positive point by saying that around 15 women were represented, even though it's very less. But you're using that number to say, even if you don't want to use the word 15 because it shows very less, you can say it had members from different communities which represented different sections, including women like Hansa Mehta, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, and all these names you can use. 2-3 names are enough. You can say that they were also there. That means it also included people from the marginalized sections also, including B.R. Ambedkar himself was the chairman of drafting committee. Again, not to make it very lengthy because you don't have to write big paragraphs here. When you are writing subheading and side headings, make sure it is as crisp as possible and in lines as possible. And there, going with the assumption that they will allow us to have underlining, you can either underline, guys, or I would say in the answer itself, in the middle, you can use this kind of box structure. That box structure also emphasizes the main word in the particular phrase. Fine? That is one thing. Second one, what is the criticism here? It was, as you have told, you can say it was dominated by Congress. Okay, Congress domination is one criticism we have to accept. The Constituent Assembly had majority of the members from the Congress because they have won the majority of the seats. Why? Now you have to provide the evaluation here. Of course, it was dominated by the Congress, but Congress, what Rajni Kothari has told, okay, that Congress is a political party which represented diverse ideological strands or diverse ideological spectrum, which means views of different people are accommodated within single Congress party. That is one line which is enough to tell that despite the assembly being dominated by the Congress political party, you're not justifying today's Congress, guys, okay? Congress represented broad ideological spectrum which represented views of all sections. That is one evaluation what you have done. Then third one, you can use either the PR system, that means it was not directly elected by the people. That is one thing which you can use, not directly elected. Now here, once you mention that point, how do you justify this? Even though it was not directly elected, but what happens? The members who choose this Constituent Assembly were actually elected by the people, which means the provinces. Okay, the provinces which were there at that time, they were directly chosen by the people. That is, of course, that is what we can say here, guys. Ante me telusu kada already that the provincial assemblies have chosen them. They avoided the direct elections, guys. Unnecessary waste of time at that. Okay, so we can say even though it was not directly elected, but the provincial assembly members were elected by the people who indirectly elected the Constituent Assembly members. That one line is enough here. Then next point, one more. As you have told the first point, what is it? Ivor Jennings quote. Okay, we can say dominated by lawyers. Then you can use one line, beautiful line, Ivor Jennings. Indian Constitution is a lawyer's paradise, not lover's paradise. Okay, it's lawyer's paradise. We can use one line there. Yes, majority of the members like Ambedkar, Nehru, okay, these all members were Prasad, all these were lawyers. Full stop. But you can say what? It is criticized for legal complexity, guys. Legal complexity is there in our constitution, we have to accept it. But still, I would be able to give some explanation for that. Why? What is that point? That happens after Indian Independence Act 47. After Indian Independence Act 47, Assembly becomes a sovereign body. This also accepted here, guys. It was not a fully sovereign body. Why? Because the dates, timings of the Assembly were fixed by the British. But after Indian Independence Act 47, when they declared India as a dominion, of course, but at that time, what was happening? The British laws will no longer apply in India. The Assembly will itself make the laws. That's a different point. But here, what point I have to use? Lawyer's paradise. Why do you think Constitution is very lengthy, guys? Quickly, time is getting off. One question. First question always take a lot of time. Why it is so lengthy, Constitution? Why it is so complicated? Lawyers are there, of course. One more reason is there. Why it became quite complicated? Detailed Constitution. They were very scared. As Uday Mehta, the historian, says, they were very scared about India's unity. They were worried about how to eradicate poverty and illiteracy and development in India, how to bring it. They were also worried about India standing in the world. Uday Mehta, historian, says this. Then we have Upendra Bakshi. These are all scholars, guys. Again, don't overdo this in general studies answers. Just I'm telling you for the information's sake. Upendra Bakshi is a famous legal scholar. He says Indian Constitution is based on principles of rights, justice, development and governance. That means simply saying how to remember RJD is Rashtriya Janata Dal and G. How to remember always in our UPSC exam or TSPSC or whatever it is, guys. Mnemonics. You have to make mnemonics. So if you want to, I'll come back to that point because we are having some two heavy philosophical questions coming. The first chapter koncham dry ga undi, so please bear with it. We can't help it. From second, third, fourth, fifth chapters, you have a lot of dynamism added, guys. And I have added all the current affairs questions for you. In fact, we'll be having close to 40 themes in this week itself because 25 questions, 10 sectional questions, that is 35, and comprehensive test 5 questions, 40 different themes of questions will be covered. Fine. So I will be adding current affairs questions also. Now in this particular point, please do add that the legal complexity is coming because it was a detailed constitution which was addressing the diversity of the Indians, and everything was written in detail. That is one point which you can write to address the legal or lawyer's paradise ka point. Okay. 4 are done. Depending on the length of your answer, you see, if you want to add fifth point, as you just told, that point we can add. What is the point which you have mentioned just now? That is a function. But it's a function. We need to, again guys, here it's not asking about constitution criticism, it's asking about constituent assembly criticism. Yeah, any other point? Time length. Okay. Criticism faced by assemblies, it took a lot of time. There you can add what point you have told. Again, it's the same point. They wanted to, India is a country which has tremendous diversity, and we already are not a country from the beginning. As we know, kingdoms and all dynasties were there. And as Ambedkar himself, I usually play his clip in my classes of polity. He himself says that India is not fit for democracy, because democracy is premised upon the idea of equality. Equality is not there. Power to the people. Which people? Ambani, Adani, or people like us? Who will have power? Upper caste or lower caste? Power to the people means which people? That is what we have to define in India. So Ambedkar's famous quote, as you understand, political democracy has no meaning unless at its base lies social democracy. These kind of lines you can quote in the philosophical questions, upcoming questions. Okay, fine. That is enough, guys. How to conclude the answer? You give the entire weight to the answer by properly defining what is the assembly, what is the composition, what are the criticisms. You evaluated the criticisms also, and then one last optimistic conclusion. However, despite all the criticisms faced by the Constituent Assembly, it played a remarkable role in drafting the Indian Constitution. That's it. In drafting the Constitution, reflecting the principles of, yeah.
So the Lord Michael Simon said it is the body of Hindus that can also be added in the criticism part.
Yeah, I just told that. It's a body dominated by Hindus. Churchill has told that point. That is the first point which I told you. You can add that. And conclusion, summarize. Conclusion is nothing but summary, guys. Way forward will come when? Way forward will come when a question expects you to suggest some measures. Collegium, way forward. Office of profit, way forward. Parliamentary privileges, misused, way forward. Okay, women representation, way forward. So you understand way forward where it comes. I will tell you where it comes. Okay, here way forward is not required because they are not asking anything for you. Okay, so I think you understood the first question here. Okay, fine. Let's go to the second question straight away. What is the second question? In what ways preamble reflects the foundational values and aspirations of India? Examine the rationale behind incorporating the words secular and socialist into the preamble. So this question talks about what ways does preamble reflect the foundational values and aspirations of India? What ways? Simple, very easy question. See, you may say why I gave such easy questions, but this is what is coming in UPSC also. And I have made these questions on the basis of previous year because we don't have TGPSC previous year questions. So APPSC, all, when United AP was there, those previous questions I fished out and I made this. And always because UPSC team has come, they were instrumental in drafting your prelims paper also. Isliye UPSC ka orientation I am following in this, guys. And you can always Google my questions and see. They will be there in some UPSC exam of the past. Okay, fine. This year questions are the polity law, TSPSC law. In UPSC 99% from the class. Again, I don't have to advertise. That's a waste strategy to say I only told it came. Students will come and tell that is the happiness for a teacher. But one thing is, guys, as you may, most of you don't know me, except a few of you here. Of course, the self-publicity dabba is very much in this UPSC market, guys, which students will troll like anything. Students are very serious. If somebody is claiming he is the Bap of UPSC or Einstein of UPSC, he will be trolled very badly. So ultimately what matters is students themselves coming up to the faculty and telling. In this market you will find outside, you go anywhere, full marketing, full publicity, answer rating ghosts, booth, scary boogeyman is going to come and pay me 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees. I will do personal mentorship as a okay. There are so many things in the way. Of course, you are intelligent guys, you know all these things. You are not kids. Tell me guys, preamble question I will start with basic point. What is preamble? I will start. What is preamble? Preamble is the what? Preface to the Constitution. I would put this word preface in a box which itself tells the answer. The first conclusion, the first introduction. Preamble is the preface of the Constitution which embodies the philosophy. Embodies the philosophy of the Constitution. Or we can say it reflects the minds of the makers of the Constitution. It's up to you what kind of words you want to choose in the introduction. Never make introduction very complicated, always. Go with the basic, okay, preamble. Then you all know what preamble represents. When I say preamble guys, when I say values of preamble, in what ways? What values you want to focus? In your classes you will learn what does preamble signify. Means first faculty will tell we the people, people are the authority. Second they will say it talks about the object or values, nature of the republic, nature of the Indian country. What is that? Then you will say SSSDR and all that. It's not asking us here nature, it's asking us about values. Values means the objectives what we all want to achieve. What are the objectives guys? All of you know that. Justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Here also in your model answer you will find me giving some very important keywords. When I say justice, I should tell what type of justice. First part of the question is asking you what are the values. Second part of the question asking you why secular, why socialist words have been introduced in the preamble. I purposefully gave this question because lot of ruckus happened a few months ago on the topic of secular and socialist words. When the new parliament session has happened, they gave the copies of preamble which were what? Without the 42nd amendment, the original copies were given. This controversy is important. Many Indians still now don't know why the word secular socialist were added. Now the answer, first let us go with the first part. When I say justice, when I define preface of the Constitution, preamble reflects the minds of the makers of the Constitution. If your introduction is getting very bigger, split into two parts. Okay, write one line, next one more line you write, then you can say the preamble embodies the following values. Then you start with the words it seeks to achieve. First side reading, justice. What will you write here? What type of justice it is trying to seek? Social, economic and political justice. You can add some value to your answer by emphasizing. Of course, you are not just writing what is justice, social, economic. It is written already in the preamble. What you are trying to infer from that? What is the objective of justice? Same like equality, of course. What is the objective of justice? To provide what? Justice in the... To sing the song Magua, Magua. That is justice. What are we trying to seek? Again, justice is a very big topic. Yeah. Justice equality has very close relationship. You can use in both ways. Inclusive, egalitarian society, very equal. Of course, equality means you can use the word equal opportunities. Here also, justice, that's why we use the word social justice. It includes the component of, okay, social justice means it has the components of equality, it has the components of providing justice. Basically guys, justice means, not just justice means what the courts will do. Fair allocation of resources. Allocation of resources. Justice, nyayam eppudu avutundante, like when I feel everybody, whatever the government is giving, it's not only for, let's say, other highly privileged sections. All of us should get the advantage, which is the spirit in the Article 39B. B, I recently made Amigos YouTube subscribe channel. Okay, in the playlist is there. My playlist is there. You can find all Politica mains analysis guys of all the important current affairs. Okay, there I have discussed one case is in pending right now. Judiciary is still in vacation, summer vacation. They have will assemble very soon. So they're about to decide some important issues in India, whether we can subcategorize SC/STs or not, whether Minerva Mills case has revived the 39B and C or it has put an end to 39B and C also. These are all pending issues in the court. Detailed explanation, Amigos YouTube channel, current affairs by Adnan sir playlist is there, you can watch there. Okay, here advertising chasinde meekosam, that's the point guys. Okay, so again, because of time constraints I will have to stick to what I am saying here. More additional information is there in the YouTube playlist also. That means justice means fair allocation. So you can write the social, economic, political justice, and then you can say it believes in fair allocation of resources to all. That is one point. Then I would write second point, liberty. Okay, liberty. What does the preamble tries to achieve? Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, you will write. What is the ultimate goal of liberty? Why do we need liberty? Self-development of any citizens. Okay, that means you write what is there in preamble, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith. Okay. Then you write it aims to achieve what? It aims to guarantee self-development of individuals and also what? Why do we need freedom of fundamental rights? Why we have them? It protects against the encroachment of rights of citizens by the state. That is the word which you can use, protects against the encroachment. Okay, that is one point. Third one, equality. What type of equality we are trying to achieve in the preamble? Equality of status and of opportunity. So there you can put full stop and say the preamble aims to achieve equal it aims to achieve the equality of opportunities for all sections of societies regardless of their caste, creed or gender. That is one line you can add because you are emphasizing the same point again. Understanding or not guys? Are you all there? Understanding? Yes. Or going over the head? Like okay, alantara. Small things will make a difference guys. Small things. Like in the movie, what is that film? Master Oogway is there, no? What is that? Panda, Kung Fu Panda. Whole movie he will try to know what is the secret ingredient. There is no secret ingredient. Ardhamainda? Same goes to UPSC also. Testimonials by multiple rankers, you can attest to that. Fine. Equality is done. What is the fourth one? Fraternity, assuring the dignity, etc. of the individual. There what you can write here, fraternity means, what will you write? Fraternity means the constitution, preamble aims to achieve sense of brotherhood and unity among all the Indians. Done. Now the question is asking you, what is the rationale for including the word socialist and secular in the constitution? So what is your answer for this? Then you can put the heading, rationale for inclusion of socialist and secular. Okay, then you can, before that you can also add the words. The 42nd Amendment 1976 added the words socialist and secular. Okay, and of course integrity awesomeness because the question is focused on this. Now tell me, you have to put the heading of socialist first and then secular next. Why they were added? What is the rationale behind this? Anyone has the answer? First, socialist. Why we added the word socialist? It was added why? Okay. So that means at that time, the goals of, to reach the goals of eradication of poverty and to provide social welfare and justice, it reflects the political landscape of that time because at that time government was trying to assume. Indira Gandhi was facing the heat from the old guys of the Congress. Nijalingappa, Kamaraj, Morarji Desai. They were not on good terms with Indira Gandhi, so already they split. Later she wanted to prove that she can do it herself. So Congress O and Congress R will happen, as we must be knowing. Congress O, okay, those old guys are there. O is not old guys here, okay. So fine, organization, Congress organization. Congress R is Indira Gandhi. She will win the elections, of course, but she wanted to prove that I am there for the welfare of the people and I have to get, DPSPs are more important for me. So DPSPs are enshrined in which part there? Part 4, what articles reflect socialism in India? Major articles which focus on socialism in India. 30, You can say one point here. For eradicating poverty, the government reflects political landscape. The government of the day assumed socialist orientation and adopted socialism as its goal. Okay, with of course different interpretation. It's not socialism of the Russia or the China. That is one line you will write there. And next point you can write social. You have to justify the point, guys. It's like you are defining what is socialism, why it was added. You also try to tell that nothing wrong to add because it's already implicit in the constitution in certain ways. You can add the words here. The inclusion of the word socialist was meant to make certain parts to achieve the goals of socialism as enshrined in part 4 of the constitution in articles 38 and 39. These are the articles which nail socialism in India. 38 directly says state shall secure a social order. Social order we have to secure. 39, ABCDF is there? No. In that B and C are very important, which are in Supreme Court right now. B and C. B talks about what? Distribution of material resources. Bombay property ka case chal raha hai. Those guys in Bombay, okay, the old properties registered in Bombay, government can take over them anytime because the owners will not repair them. And people who are staying inside, they don't have money to repair themselves. So they have an act where it allows the government to take away the property of the owners. So can property be taken away to distribute to all? That is a question Supreme Court bench is yet to decide. Case already has been heard. That means B and C. What is C? What is C talking about? 39 C. Distribution of, okay, it's over. Okay, the economic system should not operate so as to result in concentration of wealth. As those B and C, that means you can use the articles here to say it is already the goal of the constitution to achieve socialism, which has been made now explicit in the preamble. Then you go, already answer becomes heavy here itself because you wrote already those points. Then quickly go to secular. Why secular? There is no standard reason why she has done this. I have dug into the Constituent Assembly debates also. There also, because the Western secularism is quite different from the Indian secularism, they were like, what type of secularism you want to do? There was some ambiguity there. They told already we wrote in 25 to 28. Completely secularism is there. Already 29-30 guarantees multiculturalism in India. Then why to make secular explicit in the constitution? There were different interpretations. In fact, there were people like Kamath who proposed in preamble, we the people of India in the name of God. That is a proposition in the assembly, guys. No consensus came in that. They voted and it was lost. So there was so much of debate going on regarding the concept of God, religion in India. They felt that, you can write that in the answer also in one line. The word secular has been added to re-emphasize India's commitment to secular principles. Re-emphasize or emphasize the commitment of India to the principles of secularism, which include no state religion, equal treatment for all the religions and no discrimination. That is one paragraph. Then you can say secularism is already implicit in the Indian Constitution in the articles 25, 26, 27, 28. What has been implicit has now been made explicit by including the word secular in the preamble. And then conclusion can be written as, okay, conclusion is because of the overall answer. Therefore, the preamble, as told in Berubari case by Supreme Court, of course, what is that? Preamble reflects the minds of the makers of the Constitution. Okay, and the inclusion of words secular and socialist was to re-emphasize India's commitment to social welfare and secular principles. That is your conclusion, guys. Are you understanding or not? Okay, third question, not last. Okay, what is the third question? Basic structure. Okay, 7:30 I will wrap up, guys. Don't worry. Okay, I also have to go to home. Fine, and I have to cook my food. Basic structure is implicit in the Constitution. Supreme Court has only given it an explicit. Online, guys, anybody has any doubts, you can post in the comments section, guys. Unnara andaru? I'll see the comments, don't worry. Okay, guys, next question. This is a very important question. Last year we had 50-year anniversary of Keshavananda Bharati case. 24th April is same date for Panchayati Raj okay, implementation, as well as Keshavananda Bharati case, 24th April 73, and there it is 93. So Panchayat Raj Day, National Panchayat Raj Day, you have to understand. We will see the questions of Panchayat Raj later. Okay. Then 50 years of Keshwananda Bharati case. Why it is in news? Basic structure theory. Why it is in news? Because many people like Jagdeep Dhankar, including the former Supreme Court CGI, who is that Ranjan Gogoi, who has been gifted with Rajya Sabha seat. Okay, he himself in the last judgment has used basic structure theory to give judgment, and now he is saying that time has come to review this judgment. Basically, guys, in this kind of questions, if the question expects you to take a stand, you take it, because here a debate is between something which is not there in the constitution, judiciary has brought, which increase their powers. Is it affecting the powers of parliament? That is a dichotomy here. All of you took coaching, or coaching ante all of you read these things already. I am under the assumption that you already have read these things. The very fact that you are sitting here means you must be aware about these kind of topics, right? You know the problem that India is not a country which has parliamentary sovereignty. India has limited sovereignty of the parliament. India does not have judicial supremacy either. India has one thing. What is that? Okay, constitutional supremacy India has. Okay, India has supremacy of the constitution. That is, don't forget, because I thought of giving in courier one constitution book to Jagdeep Dhankar. Okay, because he was commenting always that how can judiciary undermine the authority of the parliament, he was saying. I mean, you are behaving like Indira Gandhi again. Ante kada, Indira Gandhi was behaving the same. No, she was trying to emphasize that parliament is supreme, which is not the constitution says. Constitution puts limitations on the parliament. Okay, India has repeated UPSC question in prelims and mains. Last year, direct question they asked in the mains, compare and contrast India and British parliamentary sovereignty. Let's come to the question, guys. The basic structure is implicit in the constitution. Supreme Court has given only explicit form. So we have to define what is basic structure in the first part of the question. In light of this statement, discuss the significance of basic structure doctrine in safeguarding the constitutional principles. Very easy question. It's not tough question, because you have to define first what is basic structure. How do you define, guys? Basic structure, what is it? Tell first. Okay, innovation or starting it's a judicial doctrine. It's a judicial doctrine which holds that certain parts of the constitution cannot be changed or amended. Cannot be changed or amended. Full stop. Why? Did any aliens or somebody has brought them? Why we can't change them? Because, tell the evaluator why. Because they represent the core principles of the constitution. They represent the core principles of the constitution. If you want to emphasize more, as set out by the framers of the constitution, as intended by the constitution or constituent assembly members, or framers of the constitution is the right word. So you have told, very good introduction you gave here, what is basic structure. Then go to the body of the question, tell why it has come. Why it has come? In which case it has come? Basic structure doctrine has been enunciated by the Supreme Court in Keshwananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, 1973. It came in the context of the extent of the powers of the parliament. Okay, because Indira Gandhi was trying to say now that parliament has unlimited amending powers. 24th amendment she has brought 1971, and she has brought some 13 clause 4, and she amended 368 article by saying that procedure to amend the constitution is there in 368. She told power of parliament to amend the constitution and procedure thereof, which means she is putting power of parliament, which means you can write in simple one paragraph, this basic structure doctrine has not been found in original constitution. It has evolved as a judicial precedent in the so and so case in the context of the amending powers of the parliament. Okay, the judiciary held that, or you can write there, the judiciary upheld Article 24, Constitution Amendment 24th, 1971. Okay, I think you know the story, amendment is not law. That story is there, right? Don't need to write all that. No need to unnecessary show extra knowledge, faltugiri. Okay, not required. Just write that crisp point and you can say that, however, I mean, what Supreme Court has told, that Parliament can amend the fundamental rights and amendment is not considered law for the purpose of Article 13 Clause 4. However, certain features of the Constitution cannot be amended even by the Parliament. This is the summary of what is the meaning of the word basic structure. Ante kada? You can change. Indira Gandhi is fine. 13 article clause 1 clause 2 talks about pre-constitutional post-constitutional laws cannot be against fundamental rights. 13 clause 3 says law here includes bylaws, regulations, rules, customs, usages. Amendment word ही नहीं है. She added the word amendment in 13 clause 4 by saying that for the purpose of this article nothing applies for the amendment. Supreme Court told yes, but they told not everything you can change by amendment. There are some basic things you cannot touch. Explain this in just one simple paragraph, guys. Then you start with the significance. That means you can say, because I have to justify. Question is saying what? Question is saying here, it is implicit in the Constitution. I have taken this particular line from my PSR previous year question. They asked already in PSR. If you Google, you can find this, guys. Implicit. Now you tell me how it is implicit. How it is implicit? Any two super articles you can understand where judiciary is like, yes, we have the powers, huh? 13, okay, fine. I take your point. You can write the word basic structure, even though evolved out of judicial precedent, is implicit in the Constitution in the form of Article 13. And the Brahmastra, what I call, come on guys, tell me. What is the Brahmastra? Brahmastra, not Arvind Kapoor, Alia Bhatt Brahmastra. There is one Brahmastra Supreme Court has. Okay, don't write Brahmastra in the answers. 142. What is that, guys? Supreme Court can do complete justice in any matter pending. It can pass any decree or order to do complete justice in any case or any matter pending before it. Then, one more. 32. Come on, heart and soul, as Ambedkar has told. It protects the fundamental rights. Guys, basic structure means Supreme Court's role has enhanced. Why it has enhanced? Why Jagdeep Dhankar is crying? Why other government supporters are crying? Because of this thing, Parliament's power to amend the Constitution is limited. Are you understanding or not? If they ask a question to you, what are the criticisms of basic structure? There you will tell. It is subjective, it increases judicial activism, okay, it can be arbitrary, it affects the amending power of the Parliament, it probably is against the organic nature of the Constitution, because if you want to bring some new things, Supreme Court will say, array, this is not there, it is old, this is the mind of the makers of the Constitution, you cannot bring new changes. Understanding or not? This, if a question is asked regarding criticism of the basic structure, it is not asking criticism here, it is praising in this particular question. It is saying it is implicit. Yes, it is implicit. You mentioned the line here, guys. Last part of the question, what it is? Discuss the significance in safeguarding. The best way for me to discuss significance of basic structure is giving cases after Bharati. Okay, tell me guys, any 4 cases you can write in the answer to tell how this basic structure doctrine helped the judiciary to uphold the Constitution. Whether it is fundamental rights, whether it is judicial review, okay, in this aspects you have to mention. How judiciary was able to help us. You are all writing exam in English only, no? Let me stick to English only. Okay? తెలుగు మాట్లాడచ్చు, బాగా మాట్లాడచ్చు, కానీ ఇది తెలుగు క్లాస్ కూడా ఉంది, అక్కడ అటెండ్ అవ్వచ్చు. తెలుగు టెస్ట్ సిరీస్ కూడా ఉంది, ఓకేనా? రఫీ సార్ అయితే టోల్డ్ మీ తెలుగుతో don't choose Telugu or Hindi. Because of the Odisha students I am teaching Hindi also. I am like, I realize now, okay, don't use Hindi or Telugu because exam is in English, no, so flow should come in the final exam. Emantar? I am asking in Telugu again. Okay, fine. So guys, what are the cases you know where basic structure doctrine was implemented? 73 ke baad, 8 years ahead, 2 years later, what happened? Indira Gandhi had faced one problem with one guy. Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case. He challenged one amendment, no? What is amendment? Yeah, it's not coming in my mind also. 39th 1975 was there, no? 39th, where she told that President, PM, Lok Sabha Speaker, Vice President elections cannot be challenged in any court. Jagi, 38th, 39th, 39th, I think so, okay? Smart generation. Hey Siri, okay? Okay, fine. Please Google. Okay, fine. So that was overturned by the court because you cannot bar Supreme Court. How can you give executive power? There, guys, one more point is, generally UPSC we stress this point a lot, that it's not enough for you to just write sometimes the just example. Again, there are many rankers I know who just explain example and did not explain what the example is about and still got good marks. అర్థమవుతుందా అంటే sometimes you cannot expect the exam evaluator to know what this case is about. That is also granted. But again, as I told, take all our advices with pinch of salt. Ultimately, you are having something called as your common sense brain. Common sense is not common, of course, but still use it, guys. Okay, but I am saying always that what I am saying exactly ilage cheyandani, I am not saying. But still, one small phrase, one small 2 words or lines. Why judiciary struck down this is because you cannot give unlimited powers to the executive. You cannot say I will be elections and nobody can question. That one line, if you mention it, adds some value to your point. Why it struck down this point? And it has barred judicial review. Judicial review has been held as a basic feature of the Constitution. Okay, that is one point. Second case, as you have mentioned. What is second case? Minerva Mills case. Minerva Mills case, why it is about? What is it about? They challenge what? Indira Gandhi, what she has done, no? 42nd Amendment 19... All this is in the minimum notes, okay, don't worry. 42nd Amendment 1976, she amended 368 again. She added clause 4, she added clause 5. Clause 4, she told, no judicial review of amendment. Clause 5, she told, no limitations on the amending power of Parliament. These two are crazy. You cannot elevate legislature to an extent where judiciary cannot interfere. Balance has to be restored. Understanding or not? 368, clause 4, no judicial review of any amendment. Clause 5, 368 is about unlimited power of the constitution to amend, of the parliament to amend the constitution. These two have been struck down and judicial review has again been held as a basic feature. Generally, guys, after this, I will also give one example of, tribunals were not there in India in the beginning. Tribunals. 42nd Amendment 1976, Indira Gandhi has brought tribunals. In that amendment, they wrote that decisions of tribunals cannot be judicially reviewed. This was changed in L. Chandrakumar versus Union of India. I gave in model answer, okay. L. Chandrakumar versus Union of India 1997. Supreme Court told you cannot bar judiciary from any verdicts given by tribunals. Are you understanding or not? Tribunals first appeal lies to high courts. Okay, very important point. Which means you cannot say tribunals are final and judiciary will not interfere. You cannot say it. That is L. Chandrakumar case. And one more case you can write. It's fine. I.R. Koilo. I.R. Koilo case you must have heard. I.R. Koilo, State of Tamil Nadu. 2007. What is that case about, guys? 9 schedule safety locker Nehru has brought na 31B. All laws leke aao, ye laws leke aao. No judicial review. One more law. Bring fast. Lock. That is what 31B. 31B means 9 schedule has been brought. 9 schedule means no judicial review no matter what happens. Even if it is against fundamental rights, nothing happens. 9 schedule is locker. It is with me now. Supreme Court told hell. 24th April 1973, a basic structure doctrine has come. No. Uske baad, started with 13 laws, 280 plus laws were placed in this. All reservation laws, everything are placed in this judicial review, no available. Okay. Then Supreme Court has told, no. But as you know in I.R. Koilo case, it was already told in one case called Vaman Rao case. Okay. Vaman Rao case is before I.R. Koilo versus Union of India 1981 after Minerva Mills. In this case only Supreme Court has told no automatic immunity for the laws placed in 9th schedule after Keshwananda Bharati case date. That means any law which is placed in 9th schedule after 24th April 1973 will be held for judicial scrutiny. You cannot escape from the judiciary here, guys. That is Vaman Rao case, re-emphasized in I.R. Coelho versus State of Tamil Nadu. In this way, the judiciary has upheld certain basic features of the constitution. And you can end your answer, guys, because the question is talking about significance only. Arthamain the point? And upholding the constitutional principles. That is what judiciary has done. If a question is asked regarding criticism or misuse, what are points I told? It is could be arbitrary, it is subjective in nature, not mentioned in the original constitution. Okay, it stops the organic nature of the constitution because I cannot change whatever I want. Tomorrow demands coming in India. Tharoor has been saying for many years, why all these fake things? Why can't we declare India as presidential democracy? All the elections are like that only, Modi versus who? Ante kada. So presidential style of democracy you're expecting in India, elections also are fought on the same lines. So why can't we directly have presidential democracy in India? But already parliamentary democracy is basic feature. Tomorrow if parliament wants to change it, they may not be able to change. So this is the criticism part. That means it affects the powers of the parliament. It does not make the constitution organic. Organic means what? It has a life of its own. It evolves as per time. We all change? No. Are you the same person what you were 10 years ago? If you are, then you are no longer alive. Okay? We all change with time. Rigidity is death. Fluidity is life. Okay? Enough with this dialogues. Okay? Next question. Fast. Okay, I'm sorry, 8 minutes only are there. Last question is just a biscuit question, guys. Cream biscuit question, Adi. Okay, fine. Fourth question is again same what we have. Same, not same, of course. I don't want to say it's same. It's like, Sir Rafi sir told me that Adnan give a question on constitutional philosophy. These are the areas where aspirants don't focus. I'm telling you what you learnt in this first unit with these values and philosophy. You can quote them in your reflecting answers in the second, third, fourth, fifth chapters. Because here many aspirants will open Lakshmikant and study, ask, tell me 5 reasons why constitution is, what constitution signifies. Don't know. Tell me 5 reasons. What is constitution? What does it embody? I will not be able to say immediately. Lakshmikant open karke you will start reading. That means it is important. If you want to get good score in polity, first chapter, if you understand what they are trying to achieve in the constitution, that you can use in the second, third, fourth. Why reservations? I will give a question on reservations also. Patna High Court has cancelled reservations. Okay. So why reservations? What is the rationale behind it? What are the alternatives before us? Okay, so many cases are pending in the court regarding reservations, guys. So expect a question on that also. Okay. Chalo. What is the question? What is the significance of incorporating principles of justice, liberty, equality, fraternity in the constitutional philosophy of India? How do they contribute to the goals of social welfare, inclusivity and democratic governance? What I told in preamble, almost similar statements in the beginning. We wrote no, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. What difference you can make in this particular answer is you can write the constitution, Constituent Assembly while framing the constitution. Here you can add those words what I told you. What is that? Upendra Bakshi ka jo quote tha na, what is that quote I told you? The Indian constitution makers were focused on the concepts of rights, justice, development and governance. This is the quote. If you don't know the name of the scholar, doesn't matter. You can just write by yourself also. Okay, they won't come and verify and Google in the evaluation ka room. They won't do it. Okay, so this is the goals. While writing the constitution, they had this in their mind. Uday Mehta, other scholar, has told that they were worried about 3 things. One is that how to maintain the unity of India, Pakistan and all that going on. Okay, how to maintain the unity of India, how to achieve the goals of eradication of poverty, how to bring development in India, how to end the hunger and disease in India. Third is how to maintain India's standing in the world. These are their goals, guys, while writing the constitution. Additional learning for you. You can quote any of this in the introduction and you can say, hence the principles of justice, liberty, equality, fraternity have been incorporated in the following ways. Now the answer will go to the factual part. First factual part, justice side heading, guys. Where it is mentioned, you write. It is mentioned in preamble. It is mentioned in Article 38. It is also a part of Article 39 you will write. Then go to the second part, liberty. Liberty is mentioned where guys? Liberty means where it is there, the major part in the Constitution. Liberty means it incorporates fundamental rights. That means you can write there in the part 3 of the Constitution, fundamental rights have been held as justiciable where exists a judicial remedy against their encroachment by the state. That is second point. Third ring, equality. In my model answer, I elaborated some points. In equality, I gave equality of status and opportunity in different ways. When I say civic equality, I will use civic means the personal or the social equality. 14, 15, 17, 18 articles talk about civic equality. We are all equal in the eyes of law. Then if I say political equality, I can use the words political justice, political equality, same guys. What is this article about? Fast, we are running short of time. Right to 325 is what? No person should be ineligible for declaration of their names in the electoral rolls on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex. That means universal citizenship, universal franchise, universal franchise. Adult franchise 326. All those who are above the age of 18 are eligible to vote. All those from religion, race, caste, sex, whatever they belong, you cannot remove them from the voter list. Okay. Then political rights. Then what you have? Economic equality. 16. Okay. 16 you can use here. 16 is economic equality. And what else? 39. 38. Here also economic dimensions are being mentioned because you can see equal pay for equal work, equal remuneration is providing adequate means of employment, 39 clause A. All these are economic dimensions, which means in this answer you are telling our constitution makers had these goals of J, L, E, F, okay, and F we didn't write, no, okay, equality is over. J, justice, L, liberty, E, equality, F, fraternity. Come on guys, where it is mentioned? In preamble as well as? Okay, very good. Article? Done. Okay, here also I use codes. E means enmity. Enmity is opposite of fraternity. Ante kada? Fraternity is there, promoting sense of brotherhood and fraternity, transcending India's sectional, regional, religious diversities and untunda kada. Anta awesome led, of course, you can just write this point here, guys. So, polity and governance. You will see next week in governance how we differentiate answers. Not same answers of polity and governance. Polity includes factual basis. Governance includes the initiatives of the government, the application part in the form of schemes and initiatives and portals, apps, this and that. I think you're understanding the point, guys. Okay. So this is the answer here. What is the second part of the question, guys? How do they achieve? Okay. Here I gave in my answer. You have to mention, guys, application part of this justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. So I have given the names of certain laws and acts in the answer where we are trying to achieve this. For example, you can use for each, for economic justice or for justice, what we are giving, guys, in India? Very easy answer. For justice, distributive justice, 38, 39 articles are there. Reservations, affirmative action, what we call them as. To achieve, question is asking about what? How are we achieving this? That means application part. Tell me, guys, justice ella achieve chestunam manam? How we are achieving? Providing reservations. For what? Social inclusion, empowerment of marginalized communities, to provide social justice. These are the keywords. Social justice, empowerment of marginalized sections, social inclusion. Social inclusion, that is what is our aim. That is the justice here, guys. Reservations, affirmative actions, whatever is fine. Okay, and then what about next point? Liberty, freedom. For freedom we have so many things. UPSC is asking again, right to privacy, this and that, Puttaswamy case. So you can use RTI. RTI you can use there. Okay, RTE you can use. RTI is for information which will make us aware as citizens. RTE will give us education. You can use the schemes of Ayushman Bharat, health purposes. Okay, all these are the examples what you can use in the answer. Equality, make provisions for equality means again, here you can use gender dimension also. So I gave the names of some schemes for the women. What are those? Or we can say acts, sorry. Oh, that is one is there, Domestic Violence Act is there, Dowry is there, POSH Act is there. These are all trying to remove discrimination against the women. అర్థమవుతుంది the point? Okay, application part అండి, simple. And then last one is what? Fraternity. For this, what we are doing, Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat is there, no initiative. That is where we want to achieve unity in India. That is one thing which you can use. Then last conclusion, you can use the same points. Okay, the principles of justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Okay, if properly implemented, they will what result in a very what empowerment of the people, or you can say it will impact the well-being of the nation. Okay, and then you can use the what the goal of the government. What is that? If these principles are achieved, what happens, guys? Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, or you can use Vikasit Bharat goal we can achieve by 2047. Whatever, guys, government supporting statements. You are supposed to be bureaucrats. You should align yourself with the direction of the government, because you will implement those things whether you like it or not. Last answer is biscuit, cream biscuit, which need not be discussed much because it's a very factual question. Indian constitution is a borrowed constitution. Evaluate. I will discuss just 2 minutes. Okay, it's not like over. I should do justice. No, I'm taking justice, so I should do justice. Fine. Of course, I am also in a hurry. I have a long day tomorrow again. Fine, so just spare a few minutes. What is the answer structure here? Indian constitution is a borrowed constitution. I told you can start directly with the quote of Ambedkar that we have ransacked. Proudly we have ransacked the constitution. You can use that. I didn't use in my answer. You can use it. Then you can say the Indian constitution, okay, has been borrowed. You can start the answer. Okay, has been borrowed from several constitutions of the world. Because it came in the because you can don't need to define the first thing. Okay, yeah, don't need to define the entire reason why we have borrowed. First sentence should always be like it has been borrowed from several sources, full stop. The structural part of the constitution has been taken from Government of India Act 1935, whereas the political part taken from the British, okay, UK's unwritten constitution. Of course, UK's constitution, unwritten constitution does not mean there is no constitution. Okay, please make sure you understand this. China also has unwritten constitution, but they do have a constitution. And then philosophical part has been borrowed from sources like American and Irish constitution. And in that question, because they did not give enough of the meat in the question, emphasize from where we have borrowed the major parts. Use headings, side headings, Government of India Act, what we have borrowed, like federal scheme, governor, emergency provisions, public service commissions are there. No, that one line. Again, then you can use UK's constitution, the parliamentary form of government, okay, bicameralism, etc. Then US constitution, fundamental rights, judicial review, okay, and then vice president being the chairman of the upper house. Then one more, 2 or 3 more you can use. But they're asking evaluate. What is your answer for this? I will write, of course, I will write Irish constitution, DPSP, election of president, this, that, Soviet constitution, justice. Fine, fine. But what is the answer saying? This is not the answer. This is only half the answer. Last part of the answer. Come on. Evaluate. Do you agree with this? That is a starting line, starter's line, which we did not blind. It was not a slavish, as given in NCERT, the word I borrowed from there. It is not a slavish imitation of the West or the other countries. Rather, it has been scrutinized and suited and modified as per the Indian requirements, social requirements, or Indian requirements. Full stop. And beautiful way to end the answer is to tell how it is different. What are the unique features of the Constitution? That is your answer. Ka last part, guys. Tell what are the different things, how it is different from the other constitutions. They are there, of course, in the Britain as well as Germany. It is there. Weimar Republic. It is there. You make a difference by saying panchayat. Okay. I gave in my answer some side readings like it is a unique blend of rigidity and flexibility. Neither too rigid like USA or flexible like UK is there. No. Then second point, it is a blend of synthesis of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. Second point. Third point, unlike in USA, the fundamental rights are not absolute in India. They are qualified fundamental rights. They have reasonable restrictions. We modified them. One more point, it has unique provisions like Panchayati Raj. In DPSP, there is unique provision in India which talks about promotion of international peace and security. These 4 points will make your answer very beautiful because you are justifying Indian constitution, though it's borrowed, we have brought some new elements and modified to India's requirements. That is your conclusion in the end, guys. So whenever I discuss about this topic, I give hats off to Benegal Rao, B.N. Rao, the constitutional advisor. He was not a member, guys. He went to all the countries, was a diplomat. Okay, he went to all the countries and he studied the constitutions, came back to India, helped Ambedkar to make the first draft of the constitution. An unsung hero of India, B.N. Rao. No need to write in the answer, just some small trivia for you. Are you done? Understanding or not? Polity, very easy, very scoring for every competitive exam. So దీన్ని పిండుకోవాలి. Okay, you have to use this as much as possible. Any information you need regarding after completion of this our 2 weeks of thing. If you still need any notes or anything, ask us. Don't waste your time in collecting information from various sources. That is why we are here. Okay. Hopefully got some inputs today. Fine. Okay. See you tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Fine. Bye. Okay, online 9 comments. Okay, Sayyada Banu, article 32. Yes, you are right. Harshita, yes. SR Bommai, Jaswant, Minerva Mills, Katta Mira, 24th amendment. Okay, Banu 39th amendment. Thank you. Okay, guys, sorry for reading your comments late. I read your all comments. Thank you.